In a world full of noise, have you ever felt like you're fighting a battle all alone? Like the weight of everything is just too much to carry? If you've ever felt tired, truly tired of fighting, then this story is for you. It's a story about two sisters, a journey into the unknown, and a testament to the incredible strength of the human spirit. So take a deep breath and let me tell you about Chloe and Noah. Chloe and Noah weren't just sisters. They were twin flames, two halves of the same soul, born just minutes apart. Growing up in a small coastal town, the ocean was their playground, and the horizon their shared dream. Chloe, the elder by 7 minutes, was the pragmatic one, the planner. She saw the world in maps and constellations, her heart set on navigating the stars. Noah was the dreamer, the artist. She saw the world in colors and emotions, her sketchbook filled with the changing moods of the sea. Their ultimate dream was a grand adventure, to sail across the vast Pacific, just the two of them, on a small sailboat they had lovingly restored and named the Wanderer. They spent years planning, saving every penny, and learning everything they could about sailing. Their parents, though worried, saw the unshakable determination in their eyes and supported their quest. The day they set sail was a celebration. The entire town gathered at the docks, waving them off as the Wanderer gracefully cut through the water, its white sail catching the wind like a hopeful breath. The first few weeks were idyllic. They danced on the deck under starry skies, swam with dolphins in turquoise waters, and shared stories as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple that Noah furiously tried to capture in her sketchbook. Chloe navigated with expert precision, her confidence growing with every nautical mile they conquered. They felt invincible, as if the ocean itself was cheering them on. But the ocean is as unpredictable as it is beautiful. One week, the sky began to brood. The cheerful blue turned into a menacing gray, and the gentle waves grew into angry, towering giants. A storm, more ferocious than anything they had prepared for, descended upon them with terrifying speed. For 2 days and 2 nights, they fought with all their might. Chloe was at the helm, her knuckles white, her face lashed by rain and salt water, trying to steer them through the chaos. Noah worked tirelessly, securing everything on deck, bailing water, her artist's hands now calloused and raw. On the 3rd night, a rogue wave, a monstrous wall of black water, crashed over them. The sound was deafening, a roar that seemed to tear the world apart. When the water receded, Chloe looked back in horror. The mast was snapped in two, a jagged spear pointing accusingly at the stormy sky, and Noah was gone. Panic, cold and sharp, seized Chloe. She screamed Noah's name into the wind, her voice swallowed by the storm. She scanned the churning, dark water, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm of terror. And then she saw her. A flash of yellow Noah's raincoat bobbing in the waves, dangerously far from the crippled boat. Without a second thought, Chloe grabbed a life buoy tied to a rope and threw herself into the raging sea. The cold was a shock, stealing her breath. She fought the current, her muscles screaming in protest, her focus narrowed to that single spot of yellow. She finally reached Noah, who was barely conscious, clinging to a piece of floating debris. With superhuman effort, Chloe secured Noah to the life buoy and began the agonizing tow back to the boat. It felt like an eternity, every wave threatening to pull them under. By the time she hauled them both back onto the wrecked deck, she was utterly spent, collapsing next to her sister. The storm passed as morning broke, leaving behind a chilling silence and a devastating sight. The Wanderer was adrift, a wounded shell on an endless expanse of blue. Their radio was dead, their navigation equipment smashed. They were lost. Despair began to creep in, a cold fog threatening to smother the last embers of hope. Noah was weak, her leg badly injured during the fall. Chloe looked at her sister's pale face, and something inside her shifted. Despair was a luxury she couldn't afford. She had to be the anchor now. She rationed their dwindling supply of fresh water and food, created a makeshift shelter from the tattered sail, and tended to Noah's injury with their limited first aid kit. Every day was a struggle for survival. The sun was relentless, their thirst a constant torment, and the vast, empty ocean a mirror of their hopelessness. Days turned into a week, then two. Noah, weak and in pain, started to lose hope. "Maybe this is it, Chloe," she whispered one evening, her eyes fixed on the star-filled sky. "Maybe we were just meant to be a story." Chloe took her sister's hand, her own resolve hardening like steel. "No," she said, her voice firm. "Our story isn't over. Look up, Noah. Those are the same stars I used to map our journey. They haven't abandoned us. As long as we can see them, we know where we are. We are not lost. We are just taking a longer route." From that moment on, Chloe used the stars to keep her bearings, a skill she had once considered a hobby. She fashioned a fishing line from stray ropes and hooks from pieces of metal, catching a few small fish that kept them from starving. Noah, inspired by Chloe's unyielding spirit, began to fight back too. She couldn't move much, but she could talk. She started telling stories, vivid, beautiful tales of their childhood, of future adventures, of worlds she would paint one day. Her words became their nourishment, a shield against the crushing silence. She even started drawing again, using a piece of charcoal from the wreckage to sketch on a splintered plank of wood, a testament that even in the darkest of times, art and beauty could be created. One morning, after what felt like an eternity, Chloe's voice, hoarse and cracked, broke the dawn's quiet. "Noah, look. On the horizon, a tiny, dark speck." At first, they thought it was a mirage, a cruel trick of their exhausted minds. But the speck grew larger. It was a ship. They used a small hand mirror to flash the sun's rays towards it, a desperate signal of light. They screamed until their throats were raw. And then they heard it, a faint but unmistakable sound, the blast of a ship's horn. Tears streamed down their faces, not of sorrow, but of overwhelming relief. They had done it. They had survived. As the rescue ship drew closer, Chloe looked at her sister, whose face was illuminated by a weak but genuine smile. In that moment, Chloe understood something profound. They hadn't just survived the ocean. They had survived despair. They had found strength not just in themselves, but in each other. Their story doesn't end with the rescue. The true ending is what came after. They returned home, not as defeated adventurers, but as changed women. Their ordeal had stripped them down to their core, but it had also forged an unbreakable bond between them and an unshakable belief in their own resilience. Chloe didn't give up on the sea. She became a maritime safety instructor, teaching others how to respect the ocean's power and how to survive when things go wrong. And Noah? She opened a small art gallery. Her first exhibition was titled The Longer Route. It featured a series of breathtaking paintings depicting not the horror of the storm, but the beauty of the struggle, the color of a sunrise over a wrecked boat, the pattern of stars in an endless sky, and the light in her sister's determined eyes. Her centerpiece was the charcoal sketch she had made on the splintered plank, now framed and revered. So if you feel tired of fighting, remember Chloe and Noah. Remember that your journey might take a longer route than you planned. You might face storms that threaten to break you, and moments of despair that feel endless. But just like them, you have a reserve of strength inside you that you might not even know exists. And sometimes, the most powerful anchor is the hope you give to someone else. Your story isn't over. It's just getting started. Keep fighting, keep hoping, and never, ever give up on your own incredible journey. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.